Well, looks like it's going to be Reading who get us underway, as Colin's been mentioning earlier on. They've had a real dip in form, although they've not been bad away from home. Must stress that point, really. They've been relatively successful away from home. Back to his the club that he was at before joining Stoke. Here come Reading, though. Ball crossed towards the back post, header onto it, and it's headed straight back central, and Reading have almost taken the lead, but the referee's assistant's flag was up. Well, Gary, I halted because of what happened to Tito Villa at the weekend. Quite right to halt this time. Flag was up, but for a second there it looked like that was the easiest tap-in for Reading man Long on the back post.
It did, but if you remember at Palace on Saturday, a couple of times long throw or quick throw-ins, we came undone. 2 minutes gone. It's still 0-0 on BBC Radio Derby, live here at Pride Park this evening. The Rams, of course, need 2 points to make sure of safety, mathematically sure of safety. 1 point could be enough, but that will come down to goal difference. And there's been a mix-up at the back for the Rams. Shane Long's through, but referee's assistant has saved the Rams for a second time. Andy Todd slipped, looks down at the ground, no man covering. Long slips it into the net, but the referee's assistant has his flag up. Yeah, I think it was actually Martin Albrechtsen that slipped. He's just picking the mud off his boots. I can't see what mud he's going to pick off there because there's none absolutely on there. But once again, you know, it's another momentary lapse of concentration that could have allowed Reading in. It was Kitson just left it, didn't he? And I'm actually struggling to see how that exactly was offside. But, you know, again, it just shows that, you know, we switch off. All of a sudden, you could have conceded 2 goals.
Here come the Rams with Rob Hulse, edge of the 18-yard box, toes it out wide left to Gary Teal. Teal back into Hulse, got a bit of space as Hulse, puts it on his right boot, fires it low. Didn't get it on target. The Rams' top goal scorer, perhaps he should have. So here it's 0-0 so far, 4 minutes gone. Reading bustling through, trying to win it with Kitson out wide on the right-hand side. Looks to spread the play to Liam Rosenior, into Glenn Little, lovely turn. Sliding challenge comes in from Bannon. That was so important from the Villaloney on the edge of the 18-yard box. He's done really well. And the Rams can come away with the ball. Awful pass backwards, though, for Derby, and it slipped through for Kitson, edge of the 6-yard box, tipped over the bar by Bywater. Well, subtlety of a sledgehammer from Dave Kitson, he really went for it. But the Rams in all sorts of problems at the back, with lapses in concentration and judgment, Gary.
Well, I'm not sure who played that ball sideways, but it was an absolutely suicidal pass.
Here come Reading down the right-hand side, if Rosenior can make it. Teal's there battling for it. He's been dispossessed by Long, though. They're an industrious side, this Reading team. It's whipped over, Kitson's there, and again the referee's assistant has got his flag up. Third time the ball's been in the back of the net for Reading. We've only had 7 minutes. Third time it's been ruled out for offside.
Well, what you would have to say is that's not offside.
That's a free kick, isn't it?
We haven't played an offside there, have we? But basically, we could be 4-0 down inside the opening 7 minutes. I've got to be honest, I've not seen a performance at the moment by a Derby County team under Nigel Clough that's looked quite so brittle.
It was a great finish, wasn't it?
Oh, it was a fantastic finish. I mean, they've looked very, very lively. We said this, didn't we? You know, you've got Keeby on one side, you've got Kitson up front and Long. They're a very, very good side.
BK through the centre to Little, who's got one of those great crosses on him, swings it over looking for Long, might fall in the centre to Tab. Nyatanga's slipped and played it to the edge of the 18-yard box. It's with Jimmy Cavey. Cavey drives low straight into the hands of Stephen Bywater. Commons receives it, only to almost have it taken off him. Savage has managed to find a bit of room though, spreads it out wide right to Varney, who looks ready to run at Reading every time he gets the ball. In fact, he's shot from range. That's the confidence. Left-footed shot from Varney straight into the hands of Hanneman. Long ball over the top for Reading, though. It's looking for Kitson, punched away by Bywater, who was brave and strong, and Commons flicks it on and finds Savage. Savage out wide left. Has he left Teal too much to do? No, the Scottish international can latch onto it, running towards the edge of the 18-yard box, trying to take it round Harding. He's done too much, though. Gary Teal, referee waves his arms in front of him as Teal hit the deck, and Reading can get the ball away. But that was a promising counter for a second for the Rams. Bywater's come out of his 18-yard box to pick the ball up. It falls to Kitson, who doesn't quite have the vision to take a shot from range as Bywater was backpedaling. Here's Glenn Little, though, right-hand side, halfway inside the Rams' half, slots it through looking for Karajan. Goes back out wide onto the right-hand side. Kitson with the flick on towards the back post. It's centred again by Kebe. The Rams managed to clear the lines, but it's lifted in once more. Headed towards Long, headed away finally by Connolly, and Commons can flick it out towards Rob Hulse, who no nonsense goes over the top of his head, and now he's going to give Michael Dubry something to think about. Dubry has pushed the Rams man as he tried to go around him to allow Hanneman to come out and clear. Let's play back into the centre for Robbie Savage, goes around one man, Jay Tabb does. Savage slips a lovely ball through onto the left for Gary Teal, chance to size up the cross, size it up he does. Varney was arriving, Hanneman made it his on the edge of the 6-yard box. More positive play from Derby, and it's coming through Robbie Savage and Gary Teal again.
Yeah, fantastic play. Teal's been very quiet, hasn't he? He's been frustrating almost.
Reading have it though, 20 yards from goal. It's with Kebe on this left-hand side, falls out to Jay Tabb. Jay Tabb sizes up the man on the near side, edge of the 6-yard box, and it's beaten away. It was Long who just picked it up but couldn't get his shot away in time for Reading. The Rams clear their lines. Yeah, but another opportunity where we go on the attack. I think it was Varney who went for the header and was out of the game straight away. Throw it out to the fullback or the wide player. Kebe down this side, and then they take full advantage and counter-attacking. They're almost happy when you're going forward because they will pick you off. There's another half chance there. 0-0, 24 minutes gone. Forward come Reading again. This time it's Jay Tabb running through a posse of Rams players. He's managed to get his cross away. Comes off Long. Well, Long managed to get his foot to it. Going to be a throw-in to the Rams. Shane Long back on the field. It's into Savage. He's got a bit of time to measure his cross. Savage, he's done well. Hulse is arriving. Oh, over the bar. Just slightly too high for Rob Hulse. He'll be disappointed he didn't manage to get over it.
Perhaps you don't deserve to get the point, so I fully expect we will.
Here come the Rams with Chris Commons, edge of the 18-yard box, gets it across the 6-yard box. Oh, it was almost poked into his own net by Michael Dubry. Out of play for a corner kick to the Rams. So chips it down the line for Hulse, taken on the chest by Hulse, but close control wasn't good enough. And Reading come away with it down the left-hand side. Shane Long's managed to drift around Connolly, and he's slipped in Glenn Little, edge of the 18-yard box, in a bit of space, pulls the trigger just wide of the left-hand post. Saw an opening for a second, Glenn Little struck it really well, just wide of the left-hand post. I don't think there'd have been much Bywater could have done about it, Gary.
No, there wouldn't have been. I think Lewin Nyatanga just tucked in too far on his two centre-half.
It's with Connolly inside to Savage. Savage, time to pick his cross, manages to find Hulse edge of the 6-yard box, might come out for Gary Teal, hammers it straight into the hands of Hanneman. It's gone over the top of Hanneman. He had to turn his body 180 degrees and just pick it up.
When people get the ball in midfield or at the back, you can see strikers now looking to give a little bit more movement.
Commons from range, oh, just wide of the left-hand post. Clipped down that right touchline, looking for Chris Commons, who's hot on Dubry's heels. Dubry goes back to his goalkeeper, Marcus Hanneman. Into the feet of Rosenia, back to Glenn Little. The Rams just starting to do a job of pegging Reading back, but Dave Kitson's picked it up for the team all in luminous orange this evening. It's with Glenn Little drifting infield, halfway inside the Rams half. 54 gone, 0-0. Little's still running with the ball. The Rams haven't managed to close down his outlet to the left-hand side in Kebe either. Kebe puts it on his right boot, gets the cross away. Kitson arriving. Well, Nyatanga and Albrechtsen were static, and Kitson just arrived, nodded it into the right-hand post. It's easy for Reading, who celebrate on this right-hand side. It's another defensive disaster for Derby. Here at Pride Park, Derby County 0, Reading 1.
Yeah, very poor goal to concede. The ball went wide. I think it was Little who did a little bit of a trick in midfield, kept on the ball for 3 or 4 touches, and then he played it wide to Kebe. Came inside Connolly at ease. He opened up the space of about 5 or 6 yards, and he could have literally picked his pass. In the end, he just whipped the ball into an area, didn't he? And then, just as you see, 2 centre-halves in there, Kitson comes across the pair of them. They don't know where he is, and he nods it home. It was a fantastic finish. BK has done a lot of times down the other side, and Kitson this time was having none of it. He just swiped through Lewin Nyatanga, hasn't he? It's a cheap one.
Poor touch by Nyatanga, and now Reading have got free. They beat the offside trap with Long, one-on-one with Bywater. Long slots it into the corner. Every man looks at the linesman, but he kept his flag down, and Shane Long was allowed to just bustle through, beat Bywater confidently and comfortably into the bottom right corner. Reading have doubled their leads. The Rams have ran ragged again. Oh dear, at Pride Park. It is Derby County 0, Reading 2.
Well, I'd have to say, as an ex-defender, it's actually getting boring now to watch, because for some reason I'd like to know what sort of offside trap we're playing, because I'm sure that we're not working on that. Well, I know for certain they're not working on that sort of thing. and we're just stepping out. It's just lazy defending. You know, why step out? You don't know what's behind you. If Albrechtsen steps out, he has to know where Todd is. He has to know where Nyatanga is.
Two behind with a mountain to climb. Here's Commons out onto the left-hand side for Teal, in line with the edge of that 18-yard box, drifting inside. Left-footed cross comes away, headed away by Dubry. Might fall as far as Bannon, who was just stretching for it all along. Before it's headed back in central. Rob Hulse is through. It was Varney, and it comes off the feet of Marcus Hanneman. Well, it bounced through awkwardly. Everyone left Luke Varney as the Reading defence fanned out, and Varney could only shoot at the feet of Marcus Hanneman.
Well, it's a glorious chance, wasn't it, just to get one back and actually make the last 15 minutes a really tasty one where we could still definitely get back into this game. I'm sure we still can. You know, if we just get it forward and get it into decent areas, it might be time to make a change soon and really go and chase this. I know you risk conceding the other end, but it doesn't really matter.
The Rams have got a corner kick. It's chipped in by Bannon. Might fall to Commons. That's a well-worked corner kick. It's just come off the foot of a Reading man.
I'd suggest. But yeah, I think you might need to do something.
Here's Chris Commons, 30 yards from goal. Wow, tipped over by Marcus Hanneman. One arm outstretched. Made it look good, the American goalkeeper. For a small man, he's good in the air, isn't he?
He is very good. Actually, he's quite a favourite of the crowd, isn't he, at times, Via? You know, people quite like him.
Oh, Gary Teal's been dispossessed by Long. Just tries to drift his way around Albrechtsen. Long battled through. He could have gone down then under the challenge of Albrechtsen. On the left-hand side, has a couple of mock run-ups, then swings it in. Hanneman's easily underneath that one. Wasted for the Rams, and the big man BK enters the field. Let's go to pitch side, and Colin.
All square at Anfield. Liverpool 2, Arsenal 2.
Oh, lovely through ball. Long's managed to spring that offside trap again. Savage is back there defending. He's done well, but Long's still going. Chips it towards the centre. It's hit by Kebe on the half volley. Straight into the hands of Stephen Bywater. Can't quite do it as Pearce hammers it long for Reading. Baresi can't quite get involved as it drifts over his head, and Reading have clipped the ball down that left line for the onrushing Hunt on the edge of the 18-yard box. Gets his cross away. Arriving on the back post is Matajovski. Goes round two, drills it low. Bywater receives it into his body. Well, Matajovski turned Nyatanga one way then the other. Every time the Rams go forward, there's always at least eight orange shirts behind the ball. Forward, the ball's hacked from Martin Albrechtsen. The referee blows his whistle, and one or two boos around Pride Park. Frustration and disappointment yet again for Derby County.